102, take 3.
Action, please.
Ah, the French.
Quite loud last episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you got minutes down in that one. So
Was I clipping?
Probably a little bit. It didn't sound
Okay.
bad. You were just like, don't make it any louder than last time, please.
Yeah, it's. I don't think it's as loud as last time. So
Okay. That's fine.
it's just giving you as much data as possible to work with.
So much energy. That's what we do.
Pizzazz. Making up for the fact you have to whisper everything.
Yeah, it evens out. Oh,
Yep.
I wanted to shout about Luc Besson at full volume, but it's not.
Didn't work out.
It's not meant to be. Next time.
So it goes.
Every 3 years.
You can give a very
or so.
even-tempered, just like a composed review of this movie. You can give it like
You
a
expect
serious
me to give
consideration.
you expect me to give a deadpan review of the thing I feel most passionate about in life? I don't think so, bud.
I know you don't have
think
much
so,
of a
guy.
choice. Well, yeah, so we watched it. Oh shit. Okay.
What's up?
I'm just trying to search on Metacritic, and it's the worst search I've ever seen. So you click the search box, and then it opens up like this overlay thing on your screen, and then the search is on the other side of the screen, and it just looks like you clicked the wrong thing.
Wow, that is a weird. Yeah, it looks like some.
That's
kinda,
horrible.
It looks like it brought up like a subscribe like overlay, and my ad block is blocking parts of it, but not all of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it's just a mess.
Yeah, that's a bad decision. Why does it?
Who did this?
Why does your search have to Gaussian blur out everything on your website? Why is that
It
necessary?
would have worked just fine if you were clicked into the search and then there was like a little thing there blinking saying like you can type here.
Yeah, like
just
what?
just saying like that would be okay.
I guess it does fill your entire screen with your search results, which is kind of nice.
How about you do that and then you search and then it fills it with that anyway?
But this does it instantly.
What if it did it instantly, but your search thing stayed there instead of going across the screen to the left?
You wouldn't have as much room.
Well, no, it's like the bar at the top stays there, and then the rest of the screen is just your search results.
All right, Mr.
You do like
Web Designer.
three columns, 3 rows. I don't know.
Do you
I'm
have-
not saying I know anything about web design.
Do you have an iPhone?
Not anymore.
Shit. All right, because I just realized there's something called Valerian City of Alpha on iOS.
Oh boy,
Gotta absorb all the
cross
canon.
media.
Yeah, the franchise.
You got to explore all the aspects of
All the
the city of 1,000 planets.
aspects.
Is that Lucy in the background of this of the poster for this movie?
What?
I feel like she's just there. Who is that?
She's always
is that the
there,
face
man.
of the
She's
is that the
everywhere.
face of the alien lady?
She's everywhere. Oh my God, Connor's there.
Yes, he's in the background. I don't have. We're all in the same room.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Oh, what do you got? Oh yeah.
It looks like she's there.
It looks
in
like
the top left.
her cheekbones are too narrow for Cascard to be ScarJo.
Yeah, she lost some weight.
Became an alien. It makes sense.
Yeah, she was an alien in that one movie.
Oh yeah.
This Under the Skin.
The one that was good.
Yep. So yeah, are you ready to get started about this movie?
Oh, I guess, man.
All right.
I guess it's time. This isn't going to go up for like a month and a half, by the way. So we gotta talk about it like it's not recent because it's
okay.
not.
You remember Valerian?
Remember that time? Yeah. So
We can do it like a clip show where we're referring to things that already transpired. Is the font for Valerian the Mass Effect font? It's got like the Mass Effect / thing going on.
/ thing.
There's like a strike through.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's totally.
It has the
I totally
sort of-
stole that.
the arc or the sort of elliptical. Yeah.
Wow. Oh man. And then the and it looks kind of like Mass Effect Rogue armor. Like.
Yeah. No. Only steal from the best, most respected franchises.
There was a good one. They made a good one.
Right. Yeah, there was that one good one that people liked.
The first one was like, this could be a good one, and then they did a good one.
Yeah. And they were like, yeah.
I hope they make another good one, and then they're like, eh.
They made one that was like kind of like the good one, but not as good.
Yeah, there was like things about it that weren't like the good one, and people didn't like that.
And then
they had to capitalize things that the good one did, and they just couldn't do it.
And then they made Melanoma.
A really, 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 really bad one. Anyways.
Apparently. I don't know.
So Valerian. Luc Besson.
This is, we decided.
Anime. It's an anime.
We decided that, yes, everything director Luc Besson has ever made is now an honorary anime. And so...
this is not really open for debate.
Commemorative, celebratory episode of his work, and by his work I mean the last two movies that he's made.
Again, there's an instance where he made a good one.
I've never seen The Fifth Element, so I don't care. And you know what? I don't care how good it is, because it's never gonna... It just can't... It can't be that.
You should watch it.
Yeah,
you would like
should.
it. It's pretty much the same thing, but like good.
Weird. I can't even imagine it being good.
Anyways.
Oh, I can. It was called The Phantom Menace. Get over it, nerds. Best movie ever.
Confirmed. I'm not going to debate it.
So I saw Valerian in the City of a Thousand Planets about, what was it, like a week ago or 2 weeks ago? No, it was only a week
really?
ago. It was only a week ago. It feels like forever. It was a week.
It's just your life is now marked by pre-Valerian and post-Valerian, so which they're both the same acronym,
well,
so they're the same abbreviation.
There's 3 segments now because it's pre-Lucy, and then post-Lucy, pre-Valerian, and then post-Lucy, post-Valerian.
I don't even think about my life pre-Lucy, so it's dead to me.
So and you saw this movie last night.
Yes.
Yeah, I was. They've been hyping up this movie for like 2 years. I feel like
who is they?
I just feel like I've been hearing about it forever because it's.
Well, you just were so in touch because you saw Lucy and then became immediately fixated on anything that he was going to make from this point forward. So you were aware of it well before any normal person would be aware of it.
I saw a ton of comments like, "Oh man, this is really expensive. It's a super famous comic. Is it going to flop? Is it going to be great? I hope it's great."
Man.
When's the China release date? It still doesn't say. Shit.
That's like the real release date too.
I
like
really
that's not
don't
even
know because right now we're at $34 million total.
Oh boy. I'm not super worried. It's going to make $1 billion in China. So.
Yeah, Lucy made $400 million. So I don't know.
Yeah, it'll do okay.
But yeah, we decided we needed to see this movie and we needed to talk about it. And because I was very excited because it's a Luc Besson film, and I saw Lucy, which we'll talk about, which I want to get to. But also when the reviews came out, and all of my greatest hopes were realized. First of all, that the Ghost of Roger Ebert gave it 4 full stars, or 100%.
Which is what the real Roger Ebert, the living Roger Ebert, definitely would have given it.
My favorite line, I believe, is there are times when the dialogue sounds as if it underwent one pass too many through translation software programmed by George Lucas.
Beautiful.
And it was pretty
art.
It was pretty much 30 seconds after that I bought my ticket. And what was the other one?
And yet there's the 4 stars. Like that's crazy. Like there's like a note. It's a meta review. That's so strange.
I don't understand. I mean, yeah.
This is not how real criticism works. This is a joke review.
It's just a lot of like, hey, it takes risks. It's not a Michael Bay film, you know.
It takes risks by stealing from everything.
And the other one is from A.O. Scott at MIT, who says that it's like crushing a DVD of The Phantom Menace into a fine powder, tossing in some Adderall and ecstasy and a pinch of cayenne pepper, and snorting the resulting mixture while wearing a virtual reality helmet in a Las Vegas karaoke bar.
That's quite elaborate, but I can't disagree. It feels about right.
Stunningly accurate.
Yeah.
So yeah, the consensus was that it was a mess of horrible chemistry, or lack of thereof, and offensive one-liners.
Critical response is completely on point. It's like,
I gotta say, yeah, even the positive ones are like, boy, this is out there.
I'm just trying to remember like any takeaway that I had other than that, which is kind of hard because it's like exactly. It's like it just takes inspiration entirely from the Star Wars prequels and tries to like edge it up. Like it's like the Shadow the Hedgehog of Star Wars adaptations.
Except instead of beautiful Aryan Mark Hamill, we get just trailer trash Euro garbage.
Danger Han.
We got. Hold on, we'll get to it. But oh my fucking god, these people are so goddamn disgusting. Yeah, I'm looking at these positive reviews, and they're all just like, "This is nuts. This is nonsense, loony." Playful, childlike naivete.
Well, that's not
give it
naivete.
Give it a shake and a rattle, and delivers one of the most positively bonkers films of the year. even the positive ones are just like, "Yo, dude, this shit is fucking wild."
I guess it's that I'm trying to reflect on the naivete because like the narrative itself is so straightforward, but like it feels like it's cynical. But at the same time, because like the main characters are totally unlikable, and that's something that you would experience in a more cynical film than this. So there's just creates that weird disconnect where like if the main characters had any sort of heart to them at all, it definitely would be, you know, lighthearted and childlike naivete.
I think he's more referring to. I think that's more referring to the villain and the anti-villain.
Okay. Just the lack of real antagonist.
Well, yeah, sort of. Yeah, the lack of a non-silly antagonist.
It's not anybody looking for an antagonist other than evil Clive Owen.
Was that guy Clive Owen?
That's Clive Owen, yeah. I haven't seen him in so long. I just had to check.
Yeah, there's too many Clives. I feel like Clive Owen was an author. I must be thinking of a different Clive.
It's my favorite 90s sitcom, Too Many Clives. Didn't play well over here. Did okay in the UK.
But we have to start at the beginning. All the way at the beginning of Luc Besson's career. Lucy, 2014. So, okay. We saw Lucy in the theater together. Do you remember? I think it was your idea, and I was actually not hot. I was not hot on this idea of seeing this new Scarlett Johansson film. Yes, thank you for my entire life, by the way. But do you remember anything about seeing Lucy? About the build up to seeing Lucy in the theater?
I don't remember. I don't remember the immediate before and after. It was just kind of like, you know, when you like break an arm or something, and you don't remember the actual event.
Not really.
Okay, well, never mind. It's basically, it's like going into shock, and then like the events surrounding are kind of blurry, but like the moment itself is very vivid.
Okay, yeah. We were just like, this looks horrible. We need to see this, or it just looks like schlock, right?
How awful is it?
Sort of, but the thing about Lucy, it turns out, is that, in my opinion, it's not just a I like this ironically thing. It's a distinctly different phenomenon of, if you watch Lucy and just slightly shift your interpretation, you take it from a terrible action film that's like a 2 to a brilliant parody of itself, of a movie that doesn't exist that is also called Lucy, and a absolutely life-affirming film.
You have to put on your Persona Vision glasses, where it's just like everything is. It sounds like it's like through an interpretation software, and like it just sometimes things seem like they're going somewhere and then they don't at all, or just something's completely out of left field.
Yeah, and it's like, if you're watching it like this, like I do, it just becomes this very brilliantly subtle parody spoof where it's even edited like like a comedy, and like the lines that she says are like, if I were to make a riff track of Lucy, like the things she says are the jokes I would come up with. Like when she's in the hospital and she's trying to get the drug taken out of her belly, and she calls up her mom. You remember that?
No, I don't. I've only seen Lucy but once.
She calls up her mom to try to like tell her what's happening. But the things she says are like entirely reminiscent of someone who is just calling their mom because they're having a really intense acid trip, which is the joke I would make if it were a serious scene that weren't written by Luc Besson and I were making fun of it. So she calls up her mom and she's like, "Mom, I see everything." And her mom's like, "What? What are you talking about? Where are you? What are you doing?" She's like, "Mom, I taste your milk in my mouth." And she's like, "What? What are you saying?" And she hangs up the phone. So it's just stuff like that where it's just unbelievable that it's actually a real movie, and you don't have to think of it like it's a real movie because it's just amazing. You
have to pull yourself you have to pull yourself back a layer. Like you have to watch the movie in second person. Like you have to watch the movie as if you're making fun of the movie with yourself.
Yes, but the movie is one of your friends who's better at making fun of the movie than you are. And the real moment, well, even from the very beginning, it's ridiculous because like it's a shot of an ape person.
Exactly, yeah.
And
this movie has like kind of a similar thing where they go for like really weird stylized stuff at the beginning, and then jump into a pretty standard style of filmmaking after that point.
Right. Yeah, because like you see this simian, and I immediately made the connection, like, oh right, Lucy, the missing link that they found, but I'm pretty sure they probably explained that later because no one's gonna know that shit. But then it's like it zooms out, you get a city, and then the first couple scenes of this, or the first scene of this movie where Lucy is talking to this like hotel clerk, and it's intercut with savannah stock footage of like lions hunting antelope. Exactly. And I remember being in the theater and just like looking to my left and looking to my right and just being like, is this a real movie? Is this really happening?
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable. Like we almost had to leave the theater several times watching Lucy because we couldn't help being disruptive. It was so insane.
Which is hard. It's a hard way to watch the movie because like you want to be conscious of the people around you who are trying to enjoy it in a completely different way. And this is what I had last night when I was trying to watch Valerian. Is like you have to elbow your friend and be like, this is batshit, right?
Right. Yeah. How many people were in the theater with you?
It was a completely full house. It was packed.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and it was like a luxury theater with recliner seats, and everyone's going there for like a sublime cinematic experience, and you just want to crack jokes like you're on the couch.
Was it like the only showing of the day?
It was like one of 2 or 3 or something.
Nice, yeah.
It was showing in a bunch of houses around the city, though. So you can find Valerian near you if you really want it. You just need to know where to look.
Pretty good. But just I gotta say, my favorite moment, I think, of Lucy, when you truly feel the transition into absolute nonsense, is when we have Morgan Freeman, who plays a professor, and he's giving a lecture to all of these horrible Luc Besson extras, who he occasionally gives lines, which we see return in this movie. And normally in a film, when you make a character a professor and you have them give a lecture, it's assumed or implied that the information they are giving is either true or it's sort of realistic pseudoscience that is being used as the premise for the movie.
They're doing exposition. Like they're there to explain to the audience what's about to transpire.
They're either explaining something that relates to the theme or the motif or the scientific base that the movie is supposedly building off of. So we have Morgan Freeman, who's supposedly some kind of neuroscientist, explaining to us the thing the movie is based on, which everyone knows is not true, that you use 10% of your brain. And this man supposedly spent his entire life studying this. And he's sort of drifting off into sort of fictionalistic, not real truth stuff, but it sounds realistic, right? It sounds like it could be true. So he's talking about we can do a 10%. Then he goes to 20%, and he's like, oh, you get better at math or whatever. And then he goes to 30%. It's like, oh, at this point, echolocation becomes possible. And it's like, all right, they're getting a little silly. And then he has a PowerPoint behind him, and he goes to the next slide, and he goes, at 40%, telekinesis becomes possible. And it's like a slide of a dude lifting a table with his mind or something. And
how does he know?
And he transitions absolutely seamlessly from realistic exposition to total schlock with no buffer, nothing.
Complete earnestness. There's just total earnestness.
He's delivering it exactly the same way. And then he goes, the next step would probably be control of other people. Like, he's totally guessing. It's so amazing.
He's like, fuck it, who's to say?
And the things he says you can do just keep getting more and more fucking ridiculous until he gets to like 80 or 90%, and then he stops. He just stops right there. And then
it's because he's waiting for somebody to ask him. He's like setting it up.
Right. And then one of Luc Besson's horrible foreign extras raises his hand. And
what would do?
And he goes, but professor, what would happen if somebody, 100%? He literally doesn't speak English for like 3 or 4 words. Like, he does not speak English.
He tries.
And then like way too close up shot of Morgan Freeman's face, like it's 100% of the screen, like his top and bottoms are getting cut off, and he just smiles and goes, I have no idea.
The look on his face is sublime. The look on his face is perfect.
He thinks it's hilarious. He's spent his entire life, he's gone through all the percentages. He's never spent a second thinking about 100%.
It makes you think. It's just
oh my God.
And he's just, it's the perfect payoff, and he's stoked that somebody finally asked the question.
Oh, man. And
it's coy.
And then I won't go through the entire movie because I could spend hours and hours talking about Lucy, because I can't express to you how good it is. Listener, I know you understand, Ethan.
You have to experience it.
But at the last third is just because eventually she travels through time. I don't even remember why, but it's just like the corniest effect of like her.
Well, she's like flipping it, and there's like an incredibly sped up sequence of like city traffic going and stuff.
Yeah, but it's like
she's like scrolling through time.
Yeah, it's like, oh, and of course we have also way early we have the scene where she's a computer genius, and she's just like, where did you learn Cantonese? Just now, 5 minutes ago. I'm Lucy. But at the end, it's just like a shot of her. She's strapped to the chair. She's going, whoa, and she's getting transported through space and time, and it is absolutely. Oh my God. And then she touches fingers with the simian Lucy, and then she flies into space, and it's my favorite movie.
It's like the ending of every, like, you know, like the joke, it's going to be an instrumentality sequence, or it's like it's going to be 2001. Yeah. It's like all of them combined into one glorious opus of mindfuckery at the end.
Mm-hmm. And then she turns into like a spoiler, she turns into like a space computer, and then becomes a magic USB stick with all the information, and then one of the guys gets a text message that says in all caps, I am everywhere, and then credits. Oh, I'm probably even forgetting some more great stuff, but man, it is just unbelievable that movie exists, and I've been kind of thinking about it ever since. Like one scene,
just always in the back of your mind.
One scene, because it's the way she gets her brain powers is she gets a new street and synthetic designer drug, a whole bag of it spills out inside her body, and at one point it's like giving her like a seizure, and it's a shot of this room. It's just like a wide shot of this entire room, and she's in the corner. And the shot doesn't change this entire time. It's just it's her writhing around like having a seizure on the floor. Hard cut to her writhing around on the wall. Hard cut to her writhing around on the ceiling. There's no change in camera angle. It's a comedic scene. It's like, it can't be. I can't see it as not comedic. It's hilarious.
He just has weird. Luc Besson has a weird take on how you would portray certain things.
Yeah, it's nuts. But yeah, that's why I love Lucy. You ever seen that show? It's
Laugh
like
track.
Laugh track. Did that show have a laugh track?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Everything had a laugh track. Even the news. At that point.
The news.
Oh, the humanity! Ha 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 ha!
Things were really nice in the 50s. Everything could get a chuckle.
Anyways. So yeah, that's all preface for the main event.
That's why we had to see Valerian, and I gotta say, Valerian, It's obviously not at that level, but it has its moments, and it's definitely more. Well, I wouldn't say I would say a lot of the choices are not happy accidents, but they are accidents, and they are baffling.
First, out the gate, the first baffling choice is the choice of leads for this movie. I think that's like instrumental to the entire movie is just a catastrophic miscasting.
I don't even understand. I don't understand at all.
Complete fuck up. This is the second time this year that Dane DeHaan has ruined the good standing of an otherwise beloved director.
You said that A Cure for Wellness that had other problems.
It had other problems. He's the biggest problem.
Oh, so he's even okay. All right.
They did the thing there where like you would have in that movie he's playing kind of a smarmy, like a smarmy, fucking stock market type. You know what I mean? Like he's like a yuppie, and he thinks he's got everything figured out. And it would be a role suitable for a good-looking, cool dude instead of an emaciated,
what's the
horrible, like school shooter type.
Oh yeah, the girl's name is it's Cara Delevingne. Delevingne.
Yes.
I searched for Catherine Bigelow first. I would have preferred Catherine Bigelow.
Catherine Bigelow is beautiful. Also, she's a legend.
And she's not fucking this. So yeah, Dane. Oh God, I don't even know where to start with these people. Catherine Bigelow looks like a troll. She looks like fucking the kid from who's the child actor with the girl's name? The big fat guy now. Oh God. Dana something? No. What's his?
Hold on.
Shit.
Look. The Spoils of Babylon. He's in the Spoils of Babylon. That's the thing I know him the best for.
Okay.
Which shows my priorities. Haley Joel Osment?
Yes, Haley Joel Osment. Actually, no, she looks even worse than him.
He looks like an actual hamster personified, so like even more than James Murphy of LCD Soundsystem fame. So like I don't.
Yeah, she just looks like a fucking witch. She's just.
Are you sure your memory of her isn't being tainted by her playing a literal witch in Suicide Squad?
I didn't even know that was like no. I formed this opinion while I was watching the movie, not after when I was looking her up. She's just, oh my God, it's just horrifying.
She's one of the biggest models in the game right now.
And then at one point, the line in this movie is, "Oh yeah, she's a 10," or no, she's a dime. And I really, really tried not to just burst out laughing in the theater because she looks like the worst like Eastern European hooker you could find, and that's saying something.
It's all about the eyebrows.
How can her eyes be so dark? Like the eyebrows are one thing, but it's like her eyes are sunken 3 feet into her goddamn face.
It's that heroin chic look, man.
Like
it's
there's like
that's high fashion.
Like, there's resting bitch face, but this is like resting fucking like shrunken head face, like nasty
resting
lady.
Skull face.
And then somehow Dane DeHaan has like the same thing, but the male version. But he just looks more like, I don't know, his face. Like I feel like he always has a scar, you know, but he doesn't. He doesn't actually have a scar.
The hair doesn't fucking help in this movie.
It's just like
they gave him this weird, like comb forward bowl cut thing.
He looks like the sleaziest fucking weirdo.
And he's supposed to be a military man. He's supposed to be like a.
He's supposed to be basically Chris
Pratt.
Chris Pratt, yeah. Not that Chris Pratt has to be in fucking everything, but you know he's supposed to be Tom Cruise or just anyone.
The movie opens with them on a beach, and they're both in bathing suits, and like he makes a joke about how he's totally irresistible, and he's this weird like alien-looking motherfucker. Like his torso's just kind of fucked up.
He looks like they both look like they're 20, so it doesn't make any sense for them to be talking about this way. He's talking about all his conquests.
He's talking about how he's been in the military for 9 years, but he
and
looks like he. Go ahead.
He is 31 in real life, but like Luc Besson, people don't know that. It doesn't matter when you're watching the movie.
This is like almost like it was cast by a Japanese person. Like they get
Right.
the most slender, weird-looking Westerner they can get, and then he's playing a character that's way too old for him.
Japanese people appreciate beauty more than our Euro trash cousins.
the French.
Yep. Yeah. So, and his voice. Oh my God, his voice. I didn't even notice it in like other movies, but he sounds like he never finished puberty or something. Like
He sounds like he's doing a bad Keanu Reeves impression to me.
He sounds like I sound right now, but at full volume, which is not a good. It's just his voice is like always on the verge of just being destroyed or something.
He also can't really yell, which is a thing that he has to do in this movie several times. It's unfortunate. Sounds like it strains him to talk.
No, I found this episode's thumbnail.
Okay. Get him away from me.
No.
Fucking gross.
Oh, man.
He looks he he's a good casting choice for Harry Osborn as the Green Goblin because he fucking looks like it outside of costume too.
He could be like when they reboot Harry
Right.
Potter, he can be Malfoy or something, you know, like it's just
Or a fucking he could be Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
oh, now give me the sexy one then. Rawr. So yeah, these characters don't make any sense. Their relationship doesn't make any sense. He's immediately like hitting on her and telling her about how serious he is this time right off the bat, which doesn't make any sense because he looks like he's 18.
He proposes, and like that's supposed to be like this lingering thing, like the entire time of like, will they, won't they? But it's played so much of a joke that like I think that you think it's gonna be a one-off gag, and then they play it the entire movie.
Yeah, because it's like it's impossible to feel like these characters have some kind of past because they're ridiculously young looking.
And they're just utter lack of chemistry. It looks like they shot. Anytime there are singles of them and they're communicating, it's like they shot them on completely different days with a stand-in on set or something. Like there's just no chemistry at all. She reacts way too much. I don't know if you noticed this, but like they'll cut to her for a reaction shot, and then like there's a particularly egregious one where it's shot reverse shot. So Dane DeHaan says something, she reacts, like does like an eye roll, and then he says something, and then she does an even more exaggerated eye roll, and it's just they're not on the same wavelength at all.
Yeah, it doesn't help that she always looks just pissed and really bitchy and like she wants to be anywhere else, which is probably true. Don't blame her, but and he always sounds like he's on the verge of fucking throwing up. So it's not a good combo.
I've got another review thing here, which is just horribly wrong. This is from San Francisco Chronicle. They gave it 3 out of 4 stars. A movie for science fiction fans who wish every minute of Star Wars was at the cantina scene, which is just a very, very optimistic take on this movie.
Well, it's like Jedi's cantina scene where it's like bad. With the singing.
You know what it is? It's like the 50s diner scene in episode 2.
There you go.
Just stretched out an entire movie.
Yes, exactly. Well, but with more variety. It's like that, but also trying to be Avatar. Because you said it opens up with them on a beach, but it actually opens up on another beach with
right.
all of these big skinny alien people in this utopia, and you can tell that Luc Besson thinks it's a utopia because there's no civilization and no one wears any clothes and there's no technology. And everyone's
it's a very standard noble savage intro where like they're in touch with nature and this girl spins around like a dozen times because she's whimsical.
She has to spin around with her hands in the air.
She's gonna go dizzy.
And yeah, they all collect raw materials with just on sacks on their back, and
it's a monarchy,
paradise.
Which is not in my version of
no. It's
perfection.
It's okay. It's a queen, not a king, so it's fine.
Is it? I thought that was a dude.
Well, it's a king, but it's obviously female,
voiced by a lady. Yeah.
Right. So, but and then they get exploded, and then Dane DeHaan rapidly wakes up, which is funny. The people I saw a lot of people praising the first half hour of this movie, which is
They did, but they immediately start. Like the movie grinds to a fucking screeching halt when we get to Dane DeHaan and Cara Delevingne on the beach. Like they start to go into witty banter mode where they're walking around a spaceship, and it's just so slow. It just feels so slow for whatever. It's just because like
they
they're
have a very
clicking.
generic, banter sessions of. She thinks he's a man whore and he's totally ready to commit, but maybe he's not.
But that doesn't. It just doesn't fucking work. What? That's not what banter is. Banter isn't like. And they're discussing his sex life, which is just so like. And that works if they're not going to be a thing. But he's a gigantic sleazeball, and the audience immediately doesn't like him. So like, oh god.
Yeah, there's really no reason for him to have a change of heart. It's They just start off on the completely wrong foot, and I guess his arc is kind of over at that point. In that, like he's already proposing, like for real, apparently. So, and there's never development in their relationship other than they save each other once or twice. Yeah, I don't think anything happens over the course of this movie to make him a more dedicated man. So
no, he doesn't have any kind of. In fact, he's seduced kind of by another woman at one point, like where he watches the strip performances, like totally tantalized. So like that kind of goes against what they're trying to push there. I don't know.
But I think what I saw people praising was the whole VR shopping center district scene with because the first half hour of this movie is them trying to get a MacGuffin from this huge intergalactic bazaar
this Jabba the Hutt, if you will.
Yes, voiced by John Goodman. Did you notice?
Oh, I noticed.
Yeah.
It's impossible fucking not to.
But I've noticed this thing, and I think I know the reason people really love this first half hour, and it's because I've noticed recently that people are absolutely people are totally susceptible to loving VR in any form in fiction, and they're just absolutely captivated by it and love it every time.
You ready for Ready Player One to win Best Picture next year?
That's just what I was about to mention, because I remember
that trailer looks like fucking shit, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
I've heard about some passage. I've read people have been posting some passages from that book, and it's like it. Oh my god, the one I heard was because it's just nonstop pop culture references. It's the entire book, right? It's a celebration of nerddom. It's just like the stuff we like because we're nerds.
It's one for us nerds.
Yeah, us nerds. Fucking Star Wars. You like Star Wars.
Satisfy your inner nerd.
Star Wars only made $1 billion. Nerdy. But
it's only the biggest pop culture sensation in human history.
But the sentence was like naming all the famous directors. It was like Spielberg, Lucas, Coppola, blah blah blah, and of course, of course Kevin Smith.
Hell yeah!
And it was totally serious. So it's Big Bang Theory the movie, and it's just gonna be god awful.
Is there name a good VR thing? Is there a good execution of that ever?
You mean in like a film?
Anything.
You mean like a VR game? Could that count?
No, I'm saying like the narrative of you jack into a VR world.
Oh, I mean no, because you're automatically removing a consequence. Or if you have to make if you have to make stakes, then they're going to be seen
you're
very
trapped.
Artificial. Yeah, like it's so insane. Like, because to us, if you die in the game, you die in real life is so cliched.
Literally a punchline.
It's a cliche to even make fun of that as a cliche anymore, because it's like making fun of if you die in the game, you die in real life is so old at this point. That's just naturally a joke to us. The idea that culture has become so starkly stratified that there's a large section of the populace, probably $500 million worth, that see if you die in the game, you die in your real life, and are totally stoked by it, is crazy to me.
It's the however many $1 million you're referring to, or we call those normies.
It's like if 50% of the population heard Slay the Dragon and Rescue the Princess and went, "Whoa, this is some crazy new ideas that I'm really interested in." It's nuts.
It's like existing in a world before I Am Your Father.
Right.
Or no, I Am Your... Yeah, no, it is I Am Your Father.
Yeah.
It's like just a total disconnect. Like you can't even bring yourself to that person's level because you would have to remove like 5 years of your life.
Ready Player One is the reason I can't talk. I can't even communicate with like 80% of people.
It's like you know how if when species differentiate enough, they can't breed together?
Yeah.
It's like that, where you can't breed with any of those people.
And I'm not trying to be an elitist. It's like I literally speak a completely different fucking language. I don't want,
Thanks, Internet.
Fuck. I noticed it like 4 years ago when people were or 5 years ago, when people were like really, really into Sword Art Online. And they were like, this creates an amazing, fascinating world. It's like, no, it's fucking
it's a video game.
It's a fantasy world where occasionally they bring up like a holographic UI in front of their hands. It's the most boring, fucking generic shit ever. It's like the world is the least interesting part of Sword Art Online. It's fucking ridiculous. And yet I saw people that I've never seen interested in anime being like, oh, Sword Art Online, this is a pretty cool concept. Like, what? You're fucking out of your mind, dude.
I think we might be getting away from the point.
Sorry, I fucking hate
it's
VR.
Good, no, it's cool.
But yeah. So it's this first section is espionage in VR.
No. Can I make a quick note about? So they're jacking into the other world or whatever. Like they're using the hand thing to put a limb in the other dimension. The dimension that they're entering is like totally dense and populated and cool and like, or I say cool, but there's things happening. It's dynamic. And then the other dimension that they're jacking in from is like this totally flat environment where like it looks like really early green screen because like they're walking on a completely flat surface and like there's just people walking around in empty space aimlessly,
right?
And it just looks really, really cheap. It looks like they're walking in front of a green screen. It's so, I guess that's kind of the point because they're supposed to be in an environment where there's not a ton going on, so they can interact with the other world.
Yeah, it's a deliberate juxtaposition between the denseness of that bizarre and in our dimension, it's just like a literal desert. But
it plays against the strengths of CGI. Like it just doesn't look dynamic or interesting in any way because you could have like actually done that. You could have just actually had several hundred people walking around a desert with things on, but those are all inserted in post, so like it doesn't really it's there's not much really interesting happening there. I don't know, it just looked cheap to me every time they cut back to it.
Yeah, most of the...
But most of it looks good in this movie. I don't know. Like, there was a budget, and it's all on screen.
Oh, yeah, the one thing every critic agrees on is that this movie looks damn nice. Pretty sweet.
I think the audio design is weak, though. I'm going to say it. I think it sounds like freesounds.org.
I had almost totally forgot about the fucking gun noises.
Yeah.
The guns sound like it was a dude doing it with his mouth. It's like pee, 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 pee. They sound wimpy as hell.
Also, the soundtrack sucks. It's like that's another instance of like you just went to a royalty-free music website and just selected the first exciting music.
Searched for epic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Lucasfilm actually did the sound design in this movie.
Oh my! Maybe they're like, "Fuck you, fuck you for trying to copy us. We're gonna dick your movie down real good."
Star Wars was a ripoff of Valerian, so you can't call this a
Aw, who got there first? Who got their cinematic landscape set up first?
Who can say? I can't stop looking at Dane DeHaan's fucking palm in this photo. It looks like a vagina. It looks so much
Can
like
you
a
link
vagina.
me?
No,
it's the
look at it. It's like he's got this weird dark spot in the middle of his hand that looks just like either a teardrop or the female anatomy. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But
God, he's so disgusting.
But by the way, this MacGuffin that they're trying to capture is this little animal that breaks down energy. It breaks down these pearls into other pearls, and it's like a little chubby dragon you can hold in your hand. And when you put one of these, there's like some of these pearls are more powerful than others, so you got to break them down. So you put the powerful pearl in this little dragon guy, and all these pearls just spill out of him like hundreds and hundreds, and the look on its face as they're spilling out, it is in absolute agony. Like, it's just in such distress. It's just going, whoa, no.
It also, go ahead.
And it's the other thing is that it's like, it looks like embarrassed because everyone's looking at it. It's just, they're not falling out of its like cloaca or whatever. They're just going all over the place.
They just appear, it seems more like.
Yeah.
But the dragon is like, doesn't look like the rest of the movie at all to me. It looks like a weird 80s heavy metal dragon design. Like if like Heavy Metal magazine had a little baby dragon in it, that's what it would look like. Also, at one point, Cara Delevingne, as a space warrior girl, says that he has the most beautiful eyes, and the eyes are like the least remarkable thing about the dragon. They're like just totally nondescript blue eyes.
She couldn't compliment its tail. That'd be weird.
Oh, you've got beautiful eyes, and they're just like kind of human-esque eyes. But like, you know who has beautiful eyes? The aliens in this movie got beautiful eyes.
Oh yeah.
Not that dragon.
So let's see what happens after they get the thing. They go into, and then we finally get to. Well, I don't even remember what the city's called. It's the City of 1,000 Planets. Oh my God, we totally forgot the very actual beginning of this movie.
Right.
There's like 3 intros. Oh my God. It's
control with your tongue.
It actually opens on that.
Shitting on the death of David Bowie.
Not only is it the most obvious song, but it's actually a good song, and you can't. Oh God damn it, David Bowie. But yeah, it's humanity's space progress, and much like many other Luc Besson scenes, it goes into. It goes into realistic fiction, and then it goes into nonsense.
I liked that sequence. That's like, I think that's like the most. It's goofy, but it's like actually effective.
When we get like the American astronauts, and then we get like the Russian astronauts, and they shake hands, and then we get like the Chinese astronauts, and they shake hands, and then we go off the rails into Arab astronauts, and they have the veils.
They have alien. They've got their like metal hats. Like they're what the hell is it called? Their turbans are made of
just like the fact that
metal.
They have turban spacesuits is like, I'm sorry, it's just inherently comedic to me. And then they shake hands, and then we cut to the black African astronauts, and then they shake hands, and oh my God, it's so fucking funny. Oh man,
it's good stuff.
It's like,
and then aliens show up.
It's like, who do you think you're appealing to, Luke? You're just saying they're gonna get there last. It's not like
it's a ways off too. They're skipping tens of years at a time. Like, apparently we didn't give them any help. We just let them figure it out.
Fuck. And then we get crazy blue guys and all that. But God, the Nigerian space crew is that was a great highlight for me. But it's the City of 1,000 Planets because I guess there's 1,000 planets represented there because they all went there. But then they say at one point the population's like 30 million, which isn't that high. I don't know.
Maybe they're just like symbolic populace there. Like they've got like a couple there just as for politics and stuff.
Sure.
Representation. Got to be represented in the City of 1,000 Planets, man.
But yeah, they go there, and they're like 2 special operatives in like the worst functioning military of all time. It's like there's no top down. It's like, I guess it's just every movie military where just like anyone could just kind of suggest what they do, and then they just go along with it.
We also don't really ever feel the full might of this military. It's only just this one particular tiny section. That's it.
Right.
Like,
and then we learn immediately that the guy 2 ranks above them is evil, and he's torturing one of these avatar savages, and but the guy above them is good man. So, and the main point of this movie is they've discovered a gigantic radioactive zone that's taken up like a third of this space structure. So you'd think there'd be more panic, like there'd be a lot of people in there, but apparently no one's noticed. So they have to take this little dragon guy to in there so we can break down all the radiation or whatever. And then let's see, what do they do after that? There's like some kind of meeting between all the quote unquote humans, because all humanoid creatures are just referred to as people, I guess. And then
very progressive.
These the avatar creatures bust in, and they have this goo gun, and they goo all these people, and take they take Evil Man with them, and but it turns out they were looking for the little dragon who Witch Lady's holding on to. So then what happens? I don't know. You saw it. You just saw it.
Things that happen in Valerian. So they have to go get the general, right? Like, isn't that the next step? Is they have to go get their general back because they abducted him because they thought that he had the little baby dragon, but it was actually
and then
girl lady who had it.
Dane DeHaan. Oh right, Dane DeHaan's in a chase scene with them, and then he disappears. So
he pops out his little baby ship and then follows him really quickly along corridors and stuff.
Through
and then he crashes.
Very nice looking sequence. Again, this is the most expensive French movie of all time.
Also, the most expensive independent film ever made.
What does that mean? It doesn't. What is the independent film? What's the criteria for that exactly?
It doesn't have. I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Well, let's look at the definition of independent film. Go on.
Because with games, it means there's no publisher.
It is produced outside of the major film studio system.
So it's just okay. It's not part of the cabal.
No, it's not all owned by Rupert Murdoch.
Or oh my God.
Illuminati? The Lumpinati?
Cartel. Cabal and cartel, kind of the same word, but I just wanted to say both of them. So then Cara Delevingne has to enlist the help of these omnipotent, comedic elephant boys.
You forgot grotesque. That's also... They've got these, like... They're just gross and muddy looking. Like they look like an Xbox original enemy or something.
I mean, they're information dealers, so I guess they're kind of supposed to be a little unappealing. But yeah, they're big rats with trunks basically, and they finish each other's sentences, and they're supposed to be funny, but they're just not. They're just a pain in the ass.
It reminds me a lot of like old sword sorcery stuff, where you come across like witch or something who's going to give you information exchange, but instead there's no charm to it, really. They just feel shoved in there. I don't know.
Yeah, just as flavor, because we got to have as many crazy aliens as possible. But
including Rihanna.
Oh, we'll get to Rihanna. Fuck me. But these things, like they ask for money, and then they have the back and forth where she just keeps threatening to hurt them, but then they say, well, if you hurt us, you can't get the information, and then she's like, oh. Okay, and then she asks, and then she gives them some money, and then they say this isn't enough money, and then she threatens to hurt them again, and then they say, okay, we'll tell you, which doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, then she shoots one of them, right?
No, she threatens to, I think,
no, she shoots one of them in the wing
again,
like,
which doesn't make any sense, because they still know that if she kills one of them, she won't get it. They sound genuine that the information is divided equally between all three. I don't know. Whatever. But the point is, they tell her that what she has to do is capture a magic jellyfish that tells her the future.
Oh God!
So
this lost me. I was like, I didn't understand that she was going after this jellyfish.
They tell her that she has to. Or actually, yeah, they don't really establish that it's the jellyfish she's going after. They just say you have to go here, and we don't know what she's doing. But we come across. I think my favorite character in the movie is this pirate guy.
He's out there for sure.
And yeah, she meets up with him in this sort of this wharf area of the city, and he's got this dinky little submarine, and she goes, I don't know why she has to go in the submarine with him, because he's piloting. I guess she presses a couple buttons. But this is one of the main detours in the movie that is not really all that important.
Or interesting. They kind of do some episode 1 underwater stuff where it's like there's a big fish and they could eat us.
Yeah, there are these huge
Whoa.
underwater like bear bugs almost, but they're gigantic. And they have to get the jellyfish out of. Wait, I said bear bug. It's called something else. I don't know. Whatever.
Not important.
They have to get the jellyfish out of this. It's a symbiotic relationship. They got to get the jellyfish out of these guys' blowholes or whatever. And then there's a big another chase sequence, very tense.
Hold on, I'm just gonna take a second. I just noticed something.
Yeah.
The music was done by Alexander Desplat, which is it's almost like a joke last name. God.
Alexander Desplat. It's Alejandro Desplat.
It's Alejandro. Is that how you pronounce that?
I think so. Maybe.
It looks like Alexander.
Oh, he did the King's Speech and Benjamin Button. Well, he just specializes in boring things.
I'm gonna put my flavor on Desplat, and he just throws some fucking ink on a page, and then the music comes out.
So, in one of my favorite scenes in this movie, Cara Delevingne has to go on a crazy psychedelic trip inside by sticking her head in this jellyfish.
Did that also seem crudely edited to you? I think they added a joke in. I have a theory.
No, obviously, yeah. I noticed this immediately, where she says, "I'm going to stick my head in this thing's ass," but they edited it so she says "head," so that they could say, "Actually, it's not its head, or it's not its mouth." So
but it's probably like, what is that? Is that we can get another joke in here, or
yes.
you can't say ass in this movie?
No, it's we can get another joke in, or we had enough money for 4 more seconds of CG for these little elephant guys.
Embarrassing.
So they can make this poopy butt joke. But then it's edited in a very Luc Besson way, where it's just a close up of her face and she's going whoa, and then zoom in, and it's just a crazy drug trip where she sees where Valerian is, and that's great. So she goes and finds him, and then she touches a butterfly that's actually a fishing rod in this on this cliff face, and then we get how long would you say this detour is? Like 30-40 minutes?
Which detour exactly?
The entire sequence of him rescuing her from these
oh god, no, that's 40 minutes.
Big fat men.
After we meet Rihanna.
Not after. It's like the point from her rescuing him to her needing to be rescued.
It's like immediate. I forgot that's totally just immediate. Like you jump from. Yeah, I would say that's probably 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's got to be like 40 fucking minutes of. She then gets captured by these huge, fat creatures, and he has to rescue her by getting a shape-shifting creature who was played by Rihanna,
monster, and
then going all the way to fucking rescue her and fighting off these things, and it's completely pointless to the plot, and it's 40 minutes of this fucking film. It is absolutely insane. You could have cut the entire thing. Could have cut the entire thing, but then you wouldn't have been able to get Rihanna. Let's talk about Rihanna, baby.
All right.
So he goes into this sleazy red light district because he needs some nonsensical word that they made up. And he finds this, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not quite stripper. It's like a
burlesque dancer?
Burlesque dancer, yes. But the crazy sci-fi twist is that she's a shapeshifter. So she shapeshifts into all these different outfits as she dances around. And it's like a 2-minute sequence of her dancing.
It just keeps going. You think, like, how long could it go for?
Every 5 seconds, it cuts to Dane DeHaan trying to look like he's horny. Oh, it's amazing. It's so good, man. Yeah, it sucks, and it's pointless, and it's not even that tantalizing. And then he tells her that it's just like this thing where it's like, oh, I loved it, but, and she's like, oh, what? It turns out she's very insecure and
She's very proud of her art.
willing
she likes her craft.
She wants to please him by any means. So she's just like, what? I can do anything. I'll do anything. Just tell me what you want. And he refuses to like say just what he wants to keep the bit going. But then, he has to enlist her to disguise himself as one of the big fat dudes, so that he can rescue Kara from being eaten by their king, who wants to eat her head like an orange or whatever. But fucking Rihanna is like, so she plays this horrible blue blob creature named Bubble.
But they slapped Rihanna's lips onto like a fish monster goop thing. It's got like the weird Uncanny Valley stuff of, God, what's the movie that Will Smith is in where he is it Will Smith? It's Will Smith, right?
I don't know what movie you're talking about. You gotta tell me.
He plays a fish. He plays a fish in it.
Oh, a Shark's Tale.
Shark Tale.
Shark Tale.
It's got like that thing going where they kind of incorporate elements of her face into the goop monster, and it just looks horrific.
Yeah, man, and there's a really, really ham-fisted line where she says like, "What else am I supposed to do when I'm an illegal immigrant?" And then she stares straight at the camera.
Yep. It was fucking brutal. Just rip me as far out of the movie as possible, please.
But then after 20 minutes of knowing Rihanna, after she says them, she dies for no reason. And Dane DeHaan is holding this horrifying blob in his hand, and she has Rihanna's voice, and she said, it's already funny, and then she says something like, "Life is more painful than death."
It's my Tumblr blog you found.
Oh my god. And then we get a tearful goodbye scene for fucking Rihanna, and it's unbelievable. That's fantastic.
It was the most beautiful performance I've ever seen. Oh God. Sorry, I'm just being Dane DeHaan. Your horrible goopy mass makes me want to vomit profusely. Oh God.
Yeah, I think one of the reviews I saw was said Rihanna should forget this ever happened.
I'm sure she's already moved on.
But we had to dedicate 40 minutes of this fucking movie to Rihanna because she needs a boost.
She'll be a thing eventually. She was already in that one Battleship movie.
She's gonna make it, baby.
Yeah, I think she'll do all right.
Hold on a second. I gotta get my cat off my keyboard. Come
here, Mickey. Oh man, Reddit, am I right?
Mike, she always sits like this.
Oh man, whenever I'm browsing Lay Rebbit, my kitty cat comes and sits on my keyboard. Get off there, you kitty cat! Please don't upvote.
Please don't upvote my cat.
Test post.
So yeah, then they, I don't know. Everything that happens after that is like whatever. They discover the secret plot by high-ranking military man to hide the fact that they purposefully destroyed a planet inhabited by peaceful natives to avoid paying insurance or something. Avoid paying compensation.
Damages. Get rid of the trail, man. It's somebody would come after him.
And that's a silly sequence where they're just like and where he's just like, I needed to do it. I'm evil because I
need to be for the plot.
It's just like Luc Besson's like, how can I give this guy, how can I make him believe he's doing the right thing, but make sure no one in the audience thinks he has a point. So he keeps going on and on about the economy, and he never mentions like, oh, if the economy crashes, then way more people would have died, because that's the obvious thing he would appeal to. But then Luc Besson probably thinks like, well, then someone in the audience will sympathize with them. So all he cares about is the economy or something.
You gotta handhold your audience. You can't let them have their own original thoughts at all.
Yes, very much so. So we get that, and then we get the the most comedic part of the movie, in my opinion, is when they're sort of in a like Minority Report or Scooby-Doo-esque manner, like telling the guy what he really did, and then we get flashbacks as to how it really happened, right? So, way earlier in the movie, by the way, we are told of this this officer who was mysteriously killed, who died, 10 years ago.
I wonder who did it.
And we get a quick flashback to him sitting like at a desk, and then he turns around and there's a gun pointed at his head, and he looks at it, and then quick cut back to the present, and it, again, 100% comedically edited, absolutely fucking hysterical.
Are there like whoosh sound effects, like whoosh?
Yes, whoosh, and then
you did
guy turns around, sees a gun, and goes whoa, and then return to the flashback from the flashback. So just hysterical. And that was hilarious. But then we get the true story of what happened, and it's like this guy knew too much, or I don't even remember why they killed him, why military man killed him. But
loose ends or something.
It's just like Dane DeHaan says to him, he goes like, you knew there was native life on the planet, and then flashback, and it's the black officer approaching this guy going, "Sir, we're detecting signs of native life on the planet." And that was the one instance of the movie where I actually heard someone else in the theater burst out laughing. Because it was, it's literally like that was verbatim. I didn't make that up.
I can confirm.
He really says that. And then there's another flashback to this guy, and it's like a panning shot of his face, and he's always looking straight ahead. He's never looking like just past the camera. He's always looking straight ahead, perpendicular to the camera, and he's going, "I want no survivors." And that was the one instance where I allowed myself to burst out laughing in the theater, because at that point I didn't care. At that point, it was absolutely irredeemable. And then we get the same flashback of black man turning around, seeing the gun, but then it's the guy holding the gun. Oh my god.
What a twist. I was floored, just totally blown away in the theater by this just humdinger of a twist. I was,
fuck, man.
Shook.
And then Dane DeHaan punches military guy, and Cara Delevingne says, "I taught him that."
What is it? But what? Right? What does that line mean? You taught him how to punch somebody in the face? There must have been a cut scene. They must have cut something where like she punched a dude, or
maybe they're just retarded. Like
maybe that too.
Oh my god!
But on top of that, so there's a prolonged action sequence where these robots that were set up earlier in the movie start attacking the poor moon men, the poor Na'vi. And she's just wailing on Clive Owen. She's fucking. She must punch him in the face a dozen times.
Yeah, she like tells Dane DeHaan like, "All right, you go do this plot thing," and then she's like, "I got this guy," and then it's just her punching him in the face over and over again. He's lying on his stomach. He's probably unconscious, and it just holds on her, and she
doesn't
just
stop.
keep punching him.
Like in a movie, like it's like, "Stop! You're going too far." After like 5 punches,
right? It's one of those, but she just keeps going
full in,
and then it cuts to something else, and she never stops, and then it cuts back later, and she's still punching him, I think.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh man. And then at the end, he says, "I only want your name in my playlist," and then they make out, and then there's a cool, I don't even know what genre music, modern song it is. And then
licensed tie-in music with Rihanna, probably.
Probably something, or no, it actually might be Cara Delevingne. I don't know.
Does she do music?
I heard a song from her. It's not the same song, but yeah, it might be her. But yeah, and then there's a really nasty kiss between these two fucking imps. And yeah, man, boy,
Luc Besson does it again.
It's not Lucy. It's a different thing. it's like a more eccentric Jupiter Ascending, you know?
That's exactly my takeaway of less boring Jupiter Ascending with
Right.
less politics and less what is it, magical realism? What is it?
Sure. I don't know.
Fuck it, because there's like a level. You have a grounded character in Jupiter Ascending in the main character, whoever played it. I don't remember who played it in that movie, but like there you have a gateway into the universe if you were paying attention to that movie for more than 5 minutes, which I was not. This movie is batshit all the way through.
Yeah.
There's no normalcy in this
And,
movie.
Like 50% of this movie is not relevant to the plot, really.
I would say that this is the least normal movie I've ever seen. It just kind of shucks convention.
All the dialogue is very normal and very, very bad. I mean,
But it's not. It's also not super normal dialogue. It's just like quips that are thrown into space, basically. Like they're not really. They're just left to hang.
It's Markov chain-like, I would say. We're halfway to having algorithms write movies. You know, it's like just Luc Besson is our algorithm.
It sounds
this,
like.
Right?
It sounds like translation. Yeah, I know that he's the only credited writer on this movie is Luc Besson. But
Didn't
it
let
sounds
anyone
like
else
it's being
touch it.
translated or something. Or I feel like I have a theory that this movie would be better if it was an anime. It was just like, because you have a disconnect where, you know, like how in anime they'll totally fuck up a bad boy that plays by his own rules character. Like they'll just make a mistake and not write that character right. And you can kind of chalk it up to like, you know, bad translation or whatever. I feel like that's what you can what Dane DeHaan's character kind of is like just a totally miswritten bad boy, and he's like he's slight and kind of fragile looking in a way that anime is.
He's either miswritten or miscasted. You just got to switch out one of those.
I would say it's maybe both.
Yeah. It's I don't know what the original comic is like. It's probably not like this.
They couldn't stop putting Cara Delevingne in like scant clothing. Like she's in a bathing suit for like the majority of this movie, and it's just distracting, like more than anything.
Yeah, it's like, because there's like, it's sometimes he's supposed to be really cool and suave, but sometimes they're just like two really fucking fucked up misfits, where like they wear weird clothes and they're like just bizarre, and the military looks down on them even though they're in the military, and
God, the military outfits. Can we talk about the military outfits after you're done with your thought?
Oh, that dude's chest plate.
What is it? What is the chest plate? It's like it's got like circuit boards fucking and then it's painted
like
gold.
You took all the prop metals you had and glued them on with no symmetry and no regard for like
utter mess.
For like rotational correctness. Like they're not upright. They could be in any rotational space possible.
It's the future, bro.
They're just glued them on like random, like macaroni art.
Why does he put it on? Why does he put that on?
It's because I guess he's going to the meeting, like the
fuck.
But or maybe it's chest arm. It's just
what a horrible design.
I can't see it as not comedic. Everything.
It looks like Power Rangers.
It's fuck me. Yeah, man. Yeah, also Cara Delevingne just looks like a what's the word for really, really dangerously skinny? Oh God.
Emaciated.
Just like a fucking Bosnian crack addict. Or maybe meth. I don't know.
It's man. Oh man.
Where's Bosnia? No, I was right.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All I could really say at this point is, oh man, golly gee, what a mess.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a good movie.
Real bad movie. Really bad movie.
Fuck. Yeah. Fun moments.
Thanks, Luc Besson.
As soon as the credits started, I said, "Thanks, Luke." I said it out loud, and I meant it. I was being genuine.
He knocked another one out of the park.
I will probably.
You've crafted another perplexing cinematic experience.
I don't think I've seen another movie in theaters this year. Did we go to anything?
Fast 8.
Shit. Okay. All right. I thought
Which was also that was also
that was a wait.
satisfying.
That was
worth the wait.
one of my most fun theater experiences. But yeah.
You're doing pretty well so far. You know, you just got to hit one more, and then you'll have a trifecta
Yeah,
of
I have
good schlock.
great schlock. I have baffling schlock, and I'll get something else by the end of the year. Oh right, I gotta go see Geostorm. We saw a preview
What?
for Geostorm. Did you not see a preview for Geostorm?
No. There was a trailer I wanted to mention.
I told you about Geostorm. That's the one with
Right.
with oh god, what's his name? Fuck. The one who's
Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler, and he's in space, and it's the day after tomorrow, and the trailer is just like cities being destroyed and thousands of people being frozen to death with cock rock behind it, like it's insane. And then at one point, a guy leans over a person at a terminal, and he goes, "It's a geostorm." Yeah, it's incredible. Got to see Geostorm.
Did you see that Samuel L. Jackson is wearing yet another hat in another movie?
Oh, what is it? Fucking
He's got a black beanie on in that movie.
What movie?
It's got sexy Green Lantern Man on it.
Sexy.
Or in it.
Right.
Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
Is it Ryan Reynolds?
What movie is it?
Ryan Reynolds plays like a secret agent man. He does like super cool drive car man stuff.
Oh right, he's gonna be in the Hitman's Bodyguard.
Yes.
Yes, and yes, that's Sammy J. Yes,
and he's got a black. This time he wears a black beanie.
Oh, does he really?
They cannot stop just putting headwear on Samuel L. Jackson and having him go.
I don't remember that from the trailer, but yeah, you're probably right.
Yep.
He doesn't have it in the poster.
I seem to remember him wearing it a lot in the trailer, but maybe it's just in a scene
I'm watching the trailer.
or something.
He does not have a beanie. Oh, okay, he has a beanie in one shot.
Okay, so maybe there's going to be scenes of Beanie, and then he'll be bald.
I think
Which
there's
maybe
like
he'll finally be
one scene
freed of
Beanie
his.
Man. I'm seeing no beanie in here.
He'll be freed of his headwear prison that he's been in for 5 years now, where they just swap out the hat on Samuel L. Jackson and let him read lines.
We saw him in
and
last
laugh.
time I saw him was in Kong Skull Island, and he didn't have any distinct regalia there. He just kind of had a military outfit, I think.
I thought he had a hat on.
Man,
Hold on. Samuel L. Jackson's Kong Skull Island. He's got a bucket hat on. Or a safari hat.
Right. All right. Yeah. Right.
Anyways.
Yeah, totally. Like a army fisherman hat and aviators. Yeah. All right. So.
Man, I could have gone and seen the new Planet of the Apes movie, but instead I saw this.
Yeah. No, I knew I had to. Oh my God! There's a guy in this Hitman's Bodyguard trailer who looked a lot like Mike Stoklasa, but he's not. It's funny because he looks exactly like Mike Stoklasa, and he's also wearing an outfit that looks a lot like a Star Trek outfit. That's weird. Whatever. Yeah. So Valerian is another solid entry in the Luc Besson
canon.
Yeah, in the trophy case.
You did it again, buddy.
I can't wait.
Keep it up, champ.
Is he confirmed to be doing anything else soon? I mean, not after losing $200 million.
Lucy 2, he's like writing or something.
Oh, I'm so psyched about Tusi. Please.
I don't think he's directing.
Oh my God, yeah. IMDb has said Lucy 2's announced for years now. I don't really trust it. Fingers crossed, though.
On the Luc Besson Wikipedia page, it is saying that he's writing and producing, but not directing. But we'll see.
Ah, shit.
Let's hope.
He's apparently writing something called Twice, which is a thriller. Oh, see, these are all his writing credits. What's his next directing? Oh, there's nothing announced. Shit.
He seems like a good idea guy who, if you let him have complete control, he just takes it in a horrible, horrible direction.
Yeah. I mean, I like that first Taken. That's fine. Was that the first one? Did he do the first one? Oh yeah, no.
He directed the first one, right? Or did he just write it?
He wrote it.
Yep.
Or wait, yes, yeah. Apparently Nikita's good. Or
It
no,
is
that's
good. It's very similar to Taken.
Oh right, no, he didn't do the TV series. He did the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The transporter refueled. Oh my God, that's not even Jason Statham anymore. He wrote that still. Wow. Or no, maybe not.
He produced it.
Ah, okay.
He produced it. A little bit better, a little bit more acceptable.
Oh wait, three more credits. Writers. Oh, he just wrote the characters. Okay, yeah, but he's writing something called Renegades. A team of Navy SEALs discover an underwater treasure in a Bosnian lake. This poster looks cheesy.
Is it just going to be Bosnian? Yeah, there you go. Bosnia is getting a lot of shout-outs this episode, but it's probably going to be a Three Kings-esque romp.
Looks like there's 5 of them, but yeah.
Five Kings
J.K.
romp.
Simmons.
Do you think he's going to be jacked out of his mind in this one?
Is he going to be Bosnian? What the hell? No, they're Navy SEALs. Okay. So, they'll just be in Bosnia for whatever reason. And then he's doing Columbiana 2.
What the fuck? They're making another Columbiana?
Plot unknown.
I saw that bitch in theaters because I really liked Taken.
2011 action film Columbiana.
Jesus Christ, a little bit fucking late.
What's this? A young woman, after witnessing her parents' murder as a child in Bogota, grows up to be a stone-cold assassin. So, like, she works for a stone cold, but then at night she kills people. Or she kills people inside a stone cold. Or she kills people like she imagined Stone Cold Steve Austin would kill people.
If he wasn't a wrestler.
If he wasn't ordering White Castle in an E.T. mask.
Three Weebs.
Stop calling it that. Have you thought of a name yet, you motherfucker?
No.
Okay. You're the creative one. That's actually not true.
The only name I have right now is.
I'm just trying to. All I need, because I have a bunch of nouns that I think are fine. I just need that one word that evokes anime, but doesn't make the title sound like a feminist girl band, like a punk rock band. So I'm almost there, I think.
You can always just use my band name as the name for the podcast / website.
What's your band name?
Thunderfox.
No, no. It needs to have a little.
You have
bit
no
where
vision.
You know.
No vision.
It just needs to have. It's just like you need to know it's about something.
A little bit nipply.
A little bit nippy. Yeah. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Will we?
Just saying, it's got potential. It's got layers to it.
I was very disappointed when Frill Seekers was taken.
Just again, send me those second words and send me some first words. We can. You know.
Okay. Well, let's stop recording and then we'll
done.
share words.
All right, I will pee first.
All right, cool.
Fuck you, Lucy, for leaving me. Fuck you, Lucy, for not needing me. I wanna say fuck you, because I still love you. No, I'm not okay, and I don't know what to do. Yes, it is. And everyone in his life would mistake it as love. Everyone in his life would mistake it as love. Everyone in his life would mistake it as love. And everyone in his life